Hey guys, Dakara here and welcome back to my channel, and today I'm finally discussing Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 5, my thoughts, my opinions, my predictions for Season 6, like literally everything I'm going to try and cover in this video. So if you're interested, stick around after this intro to find out more. I'll see you on the other side. Okay, so as always, I'm going to start with my rating for this season. I feel like this isn't a surprise for people, but I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. It is a 10 out of 10, this one, because when I compare it to other seasons, I feel like this has been the most well-rounded one. It had comedy in there, action in there, heavy emotional stuff in there as well. It's huge character development and relationship development as well. Like, it had everything. I loved this season, guys. I loved it so much. I just hope that I can get my thoughts together enough to be able to discuss it and give it justice as well, which is what it deserves, because like I say, very happy with Season 5. There was 22 episodes within this season, and I'd say that my favorite episode, I want to say it's 516, but I feel as though that emotionally scarred and crippled me so much so that I cannot give it my favorite. So I'm gonna say that it's the finale. Even though obviously that was a super emotional and heavy episode, it didn't crush me as much as episode 16 did. And I think that's because I've got the added reassurance of more seasons to come. I feel like if I was to watch Season 5 finale without knowing that there was going to be a 6 or a 7, I would have been even more distraught than what I was. But the reason I like the finale is because it summed up the season so beautifully. It added everything that I wanted. It answered the questions that I had for the most part. It showcased the relationships within the show so perfectly. And it added so much weight as well. It didn't feel like any other finale. It felt heavier. It felt more intense. It was just really well done, guys. So well done. I'm also going to take a comment from my patron as well. The lovely Denny, a very supportive patron of mine, has left the most perfect comment, because after watching Season 5, I felt as though my head was just mush. There was too many thoughts going on. Everything was a whirlwind. And I feel as though this comment just verbalized everything that I wanted to explain, but couldn't manage it myself. So they say, I love how much of Season 5 gets wrapped into this finale. Xander's construction job, Spike's crush on Buffy and his love bot, Anya's ex-boyfriend the troll and his giant hammer, Willow's ever-increasing power as a witch, the glowy orb Buffy found when she first found out Dawn was the key, the creepy demon guy who tried to help Dawn resurrect Joyce, Tara's sanity being removed, which enabled them to find the place where Gloria was doing the ritual, and above all, the blood ties between Dawn and Buffy. And that doesn't even take into account the gorgeous score and that lingering image of Buffy turning her face to the sea, the rising sun. Just got chills again just reading this. The dawn, so to speak, and the look of hope and purpose as she raced to the edge of the platform. The season as a whole is just so immensely satisfying, as painful as it was, and that's the reason so many of us list it as our favourite. Denny, honest to God, you worded that so freaking well. And it emphasizes how much has been shown within Season 5. All that list there, massive. And it was all concluded with this perfect finale. So yes, that is why I'd say that this was my favourite episode for sure. Running alongside that, I'm going to say who my favourite character is and why. And this one was so hard. Obviously, I just want to say Buffy every single time, because she is. Let's just make that clear. So that these don't become extremely samey, because obviously Willow is another very easy pick for me. Willow will forever be a favorite, at least I hope. But I'm gonna give this one to Anya, and the reason I'm giving it to Anya is because she has been the comedy relief that we all very much need, especially within such a heavy season. And not just that, but whenever we've had emotional moments, they hit so much harder when they're coming from Anya, but I'll get into that later anyway. The delivery of these comedic lines, I just feel is so perfectly done. They're hilarious. Like, her as a character, if you think to how she was introduced, has come so far, and her relationship with Xander, I think, has really helped to solidify that role within the group and just the show, to be honest. Yeah, I think she's hilarious and a huge addition to the show, which I do not want to go anywhere. Plus, because Cordelia was typically that person when she was moved to Angel, I think Anya was the perfect person to step in. 100%. Her and Harmony, they're just amazing. Next, I'm going to talk about my most memorable scene, and I feel like this one is so difficult because there are many memorable scenes. Many. I don't want to list them all. I'm going to try my best to just focus on one, and for that, it's going to be Buffy finding out that Dawn was the key. Episode 5 of season 5 was just so intense, but so rewarding and satisfying to watch. I had questions from the get-go. I was so confused. Like, from season 4 finale of Buffy yelling about her having a sister, and then them just sort of glossing over that from the beginning. I was like, please, I need to know what's going on. And everyone was just going along with it. It made no sense until episode 5. And then it was like, oh, the relief that I felt. It was just absolutely fantastic and perfect writing, to be honest. The way that we saw the picture, the photo disappear, and then Buffy having those doubts about Dawn and worrying, and then having that conversation with the monk and it all becoming clear. Yes, then loved it. But I do want to just point out a few other scenes that really stood out for me, and that was Riley leaving Buffy, but more so the effect of that, because like I mentioned earlier, I kind of forgot that was in this season, the whole Riley stuff, but the reaction is what stands out to me and how that impacted Buffy as a character. And they did keep bringing it up as well on how Buffy felt that it was all her fault and her wrongdoing that sends these people away that she loves, etc. Also, the Spike and Buffy kiss in 518. That moment, me just being completely confused as to why the gang would fix the Buffy bot and then send them right back to Spike. It made no sense. And then instantly being like, oh, that's Buffy. That is Buffy pretending to be the sex bot. It was just so good. And that heartwarming moment where Spike realizes that, you know, he would do anything for Buffy. And because of that, he would do anything to save Dawn as well. Yeah, I enjoyed that one as well. The Giles scenes, one where he sort of yells at Buffy when Buffy's sort of demanding what to do, and he loses his temper. That one stood out, and I don't know why. It's just a small moment, but it was like impactful. And also Giles murdering Ben, like, blew my mind. But yeah, the list would just go on forever if I don't stop now, so I'll stop now. The most comedic scene. I mean, there's so many. The ones that I want to pick out are mostly like Anya scenes, because her one-liners are just unreal. But I'm probably gonna say the Buffy bot episode because it was just so hilarious. When they're sort of in the graveyard and the Scoobies notice that something's not quite right, or when they see Buffy straddling Spike, I'd say that was pretty funny. And following the most comedic moment, let's talk about the most emotional moment. And this season, holy, I feel like I've cried the most this season 5. Episode 16, guys. We're just gonna have to talk about it. Like, that was something else. I went through the stages of grief for sure watching that episode. Denial being the biggest one there, and then utter crippling pain and heartache. But as much as I lashed out, which looking back on, I definitely did, I think it's because the writing and the production of that was just so well done that I felt personally attacked when watching it. So really it's a compliment to those guys, me lashing out the way that I did. Because on reflection, it was absolutely beautiful. It was a masterpiece. I still don't want Joyce to be dead. I just don't. And Buffy, for that matter. Okay, let's move on. No, I can't move on. I'm gonna have to discuss, because the reason why I've picked this as well, other than what I've already stated, is the scene where Anya is so confused at the idea of loss and it being this mortal thing that makes no sense to her. And I feel as though it's all questions that we've had ourselves, and because Anya is this sort of childlike character, it hits even harder, because it really showed her vulnerability, her confusion, her anger as well at the whole situation, and it just felt real. It felt really real. And other than that, which was obviously heartbreaking, was the moment where Buffy goes to the school and tells Dawn about Joyce. That broke me. As a person that has lost a parent, it's honestly so difficult. And I feel as though the episode itself must have been written by people that had first-hand experience of it. And I love the moments where Tara was talking to Buffy, because she experienced it, and you can sense that the carefulness that she was giving around the topic, and how she was so careful about the words in which she used, the way she moved, the way she acted. It was so freaking well done. So well done. That entire episode, guys, unreal. And I feel as though it could be taught within schools and discussed in many different fields. Next, I usually talk about my favorite ship, and I found this one difficult, because a part of me is like, I just want to say Spike and Buffy, but realistically, they're not even a thing. So next, I was like, well, Willow and Tara, because I love them. But I'm pretty sure I chose them last time, and Willow's had some like rocky moments in season 5 as well. Like hiding certain things, and I don't know, but then it all came together when Tara was injured, because they had that big emotional argument. That scene was really uncomfortable to watch, because it felt that real. And then when she was hurt by Gloria, then we had overwhelming love and passion and determination to save Tara and to keep her protected at all costs, you know? So yeah, love them as well. And then speaking of Glory, it's like the Glory Ben thing. It was so messed up. But like the back and forth, and Glory and Jinx would be another hilarious pick. But I'm gonna go with my gut and say Anya Xander. And the reason I've chosen these two is because Xander has had some rocky moments throughout this show, and I truly believe that in this season he has grown like to no end, and become a much better version of himself. I mean, even in that episode where he was split in two, I found that very revealing, and a really good episode, by the way. But the strength that Anya and Xander have as a pair is what I personally feel is just perfect. And the proposal, I did question the proposal, to be honest. I kind of felt like how Anya felt, where it's like, you're only doing this because you think it's going to be the end. But Xander's response to that was amazing, because he said exactly what we all wanted to hear. And it's like, no, I'm doing this because we are going to come out the other side. And I want to spend the rest of my life with you. So yeah, I think that they complement each other really well. They balance each other out. And it's great to see. So yes, that is my favourite ship of season 5. Even though I was really close to choosing Spike and the Buffy bot as well. But, we digress. Okay, so last but not least would be predictions and desires for next season. Predictions and desires. This is probably the hardest one I'm ever going to have to do because of the way that season 5 ended. I'm still shook at her looking up into the light and disappearing and seeing that grave of Buffy's. Just, oh gosh, I just don't know how, guys. I'm drawing a blank. Like, I want to say what predictions are, but at the same time I am going to come across stupid because I genuinely don't know. Like I said in my 522 reaction, like in the end of the discussion bit, I just said that I can only think that some supernatural magic will bring her back, but then we've got the worry that the person that comes back isn't our Buffy, which scares me a bit. And what if we never get her back, this version of her back? And then the other side is, what if she becomes a vampire? What if she's a vampire that is also a vampire slayer? How messed up would that be? But again, it's the thoughts that I'm having. My wish for season 6 is for Buffy, maybe not to be dead. That'd be great. I would like that a lot. Please and thank you. I'd also like it to be our Buffy. I wouldn't mind like a bit of a twist on her, but as long as we get her back at some point, that'd be interesting. Also, I'd want Spike to be solidified into the Scooby Gang. I feel like he's earned his place. He fought like hell in that final scene there, and he genuinely loves Buffy. Like, the progression of his love has been wild through this season. Like, it starts off a bit like, cutesy, she's caught his eye, and then it turned creepy real quick. He had like that shrine to her and dressing up mannequins and collecting underwear and things like that. Just very, very weird stuff. Definitely overstepping. And then he makes the sex spot as well, which is just way too far. So I'd say that the way he shows his love isn't ideal. It's not healthy. It's definitely a toxic way to show your love. But also, he would do anything to protect Buffy. He would go down to protect her, which is a lot for him because he does always think of himself. So that's emphasis on how much he cares for Buffy. And in turn, Dawn as well. I just want him on my screen more, to be honest. I just love Spike as a character. I find him extremely interesting. He's charismatic. He has depth to him. And he's just cool AF, isn't he? Just cool AF. I like the guy. What else would I wish for? Maybe a scene where Giles admits to what he's done regarding Ben. I'd like some follow-up from that. My gut's telling me that they probably won't discuss it, but my gut's been wrong before, so yeah, who knows? But that's my thoughts when it comes to that. I'd like some follow-up. I'd like some deep discussion and how that sort of can affect him. Because if he just cracks on as normal, I think that's even more scary, is it not? I guess we'll see. Also, I need Tara to be okay. I need Tara and Willow to be okay together. I'd like to see more scenes with them, some more relationship scenes as well. One thing I have said multiple times in season 5, which obviously my favorite season so far, so please don't think that I'm hating on it, but it was the lack of Willow. Like, she was in there a lot, but I felt as though she wasn't utilized enough. She was towards the end, like her Wicca stuff definitely leveled up. Like, I absolutely adored seeing her embrace that side of herself. It did scare me at times as well with the secrecy stuff, like when she secretly gave Dawn that Wicca book, and you know, moments like that, and when her eyes turned black, holy, that scared me so bad. But at the same time, I want her to feel comfortable with her witch side, like her Wicca side, sorry, and show that strength that she can have with Tara. They have that common interest. They should just do more stuff together, I think. And she's so strong. She's such a strong witch, and she's being slept on, in my opinion. But again, I'm scared I'll probably regret saying that right now. And you guys may be laughing at me. You may think that I'm stupid for wanting that, but more Willow all of the time, please and thank you. I would like to see Zanya. I would like to see Xander and Anya get married, but I think I'd prefer that to be in the latter season, because I still feel like they're very young. But obviously I'm all for long engagements and all the rest of it. But I would like to see, say at the end of season 7, we have like that wedding scene. I would love that. But again, I have no clue where season 6 is going there. Never mind season 7. Relationship wise with Buffy, I am in no rush to have her get with someone. I'll be totally honest. I like her more so when she's not in a relationship, because she doesn't need it. And let's not forget the Parkers of this world. I don't want us to rush things. I love the episode in Angel where he became human and they had that moment together, but it had to be wiped. We know that they would be perfect together. We know this. But life isn't perfect, and therefore they cannot be together. So obviously I love Buffy and Angel, I do. But that does not mean that I want them to force to be together and go through all of the pain that they're faced. I'd rather them just be separate. I would like to see Spike and Buffy, but I'm gonna preface that by saying that I don't really see them in a relationship, but I could see them having fun, you know? That's how I see it. Again, I have no clue, guys. I am chatting so much bubbles right now, and I'm fully aware of it, because Buffy died at the end of season 5, and I have no clue how they're gonna explain it. Literally no clue. This show is so good. It's so good. I love this show. I love everything about it, and I don't want it to end. Like, there's a bit of me that is going to be extremely sad when I reach that ending. But I've got 2 left. Please share your thoughts on season 5 in the comment section below, because I genuinely enjoy reading them. And you're probably going to say something that, you know, I should have discussed myself. But, you know, I'm just on my own right now, so it's a lot harder when you don't have that other person to, like, bounce off of. But these are just what came to mind right now. Obviously, you saw all of my reactions, so you know my thoughts and my feelings on each individual episode. But yeah, I'm so hyped for a new season. So freaking hyped. And yeah, I hope to see you join me for that journey as well. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, give it a cheeky thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you could be so kind. But as always, there's no pressure here. I'd just love to have you. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you for the next one. Thank you so much, guys.